Welcome to Talking Clicks! Heroes rise, legends play. Every story starts today. Raise them high, feel the room. Everybody, click, click, boom, click, click, boom. Talking Clicks, where we celebrate the heroes of Hero Clicks.
Hello, HeroClix Land. Welcome back to Talking Clicks. I am your host, Wes Poole. So we have a very special episode today. As you may have noticed, Scott is not on the screen with us. There are people in your lives that are for a long period. People are in your life for a chapter. And I by no means have anything negative to say about Scott. He's a wonderful person, wonderful players. We have just decided to try new things, try a new chapter in our lives. So I'm continuing on with the show my own way, and he's going to do his own things. But we have nothing but great things to say about each other. I love Scott. The success of this show is in no small part due to his efforts and his talents. So thank you, Scott, for getting us this far. Now I'm going to introduce at least my temporary new co-host, Ryan Opalk. Many of you know who he is from WizKids event organizing, and now he's moved on to bigger and better things, and one of those things is Talking Clicks. So, hello,
Hey.
Ryan.
Hey, Wes, thank you for the introduction. And joining us today is special guest Paul Merrill. So say hi.
Hello.
Paul. Hey, Paul. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Paul. Thanks
Happy
for
to be
being
here.
Thanks for being here. So, Paul, tell us about yourself. Like, how did you get started in HeroClix?
So first time in HeroClix would have been around 2010. Just came into it by sheer chance. I was visiting my comic book store, and on one evening, there was a bunch of guys in there playing a game, and stayed around just to see how the game was, and I got hooked on it, and I played pretty regularly up to Trinity War. Then I stepped away. I got back into it just before Masters of Time.
Oh, so recently-ish.
Yeah. So when I came to the first Red White Clicks, I'd been back in the game for 4 months.
Awesome. So you were at the first one. Did you go to last year's?
Yes. Yeah. 3 of my friends were in the Hot Clicks.
Oh, okay, cool. So how would you compare the two events?
Well, the first one was in the gymnasium area. So, I mean, it was a much more spread out, had a bit more breathing room than the second one. But with the way numbers of people, basically having the modern tournament essentially breaking the room in half to where the tournament was on one side and then the battle royales and everything else being on the other side, I mean, it really worked well too.
Cool.
Without having been in the first year, I loved the layout last year, being in that room. It was tight, but I would describe it more as cozy. It seemed like there was plenty of room for every individual game. And I like feeling like it's a busy, full gathering. I liked it.
Awesome. I appreciate your guys' feedback. It is growing. I hadn't planned on talking about this soon in the episode, but we'll go ahead and talk about it now. So for anybody who doesn't know, Red, White, and Clicks is now a full organization of a nonprofit organization, and we're going to be growing and expanding and doing different things. So November's event in Lafayette, Indiana is going to be the launch of the new redesigned Red, White, and Clicks. So we're working hard to redevelop it and expand it to be more than just one event, but to be multiple events and be a real resource for veterans. And for those who don't know, Red, White, and Clicks is my personal event that I designed to be a fundraiser for veteran support, veteran homelessness, and suicide is way too high, and a lot of it is preventable because people just don't know what resources are out there and how to get them. So that's what we do, and we do it through a fun community HeroClix event, and it's been really successful the last 2 years, and I'm looking to grow. Speaking of which, Paul has been doing something for Red White and Clicks this month. You want to talk about that, Paul?
Yeah, so I am the purveyor of goated gaming clicks and reviews, and as part of that, I make accessories through my resin 3D printer that HeroClix either fit into, fit on, or in the case that most recently, I've started making bystanders. The most recent bystanders are for Grodd for the Wally West chase, and then I made the Scarface for the ventriloquist.
Awesome.
Are they just pogs or are they 3D bystanders?
Oh no, they're 3D. Actually, let me grab.
Visual aid.
So that's my shark for camo.
Nice.
Oh no, that's amazing.
So my son and I have been designing these through Blender and Mesh Mixer and from scratch designing things. Same thing with terrain markers. I make bases basically for figures to fit into.
The utility belt is great. And you just you just posted some flames too, right, for the Phoenixes?
Yeah. So I've got the Phoenix flames.
Nice.
So that way, all your Phoenix Force, Magneto, and Thor and whatnot. Just so that way, it's an accessory to me for being able to set my whole team in. And let's face it, there's a lot of times we have the same figures on two sides of the board. And it's like, is that where mine is or is that where yours is? And with you put these on there, chances are your opponent's not going to have them.
Right. You need to distinguish one Egan rack from another.
Right. But also, I made one that's for the marksman, but it also is usable as your target if you're running like the assassin's team and you have the target. Instead of putting a token on a card, you can actually set the figure inside of a base that's has bullseyes on it.
I actually made that mistake this past weekend during Sealed, and my opponent and I both had the same Batman on the board. And I'm like, okay, Batman's going to charge and attack this person. And they're like, how? That's my Batman. I'm like, oh, crap, sorry.
Just wasted 10% of your entire game clock figuring out that play, and you got to start over.
So, how are you doing that for Red, White, and Clicks? What are you doing?
So for this month, and that's where I've been, trying to post that on a multitude of Facebook pages, is that this month, everything, all sales, 25% of profit because it's through Etsy. They take their own bits out of it as well. But basically, once we get to the bottom line, 25%, I'm sending it to you for Red, White, and Clicks, just so that way from a logistical standpoint, something to at least try to help the coffers.
Well, thank you so much. That is so generous of you. And you offered that on your own. You just reached out to me one day and said, hey, do you mind if I do this? I'm like, I'm not going to say no to a donation. So, yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you.
Indiana.
Right. Well, being a fan of Clicks and whatnot and Red, White, and Clicks, it's one of those, mix the two together. If I can do something that helps players at the same time, help out Red, White, and Clicks.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we bought the printer back in COVID. And so it's one of those, it sat dormant for about 5 years. And one day I just decided, I seen all these people with their the filament style 3D printed tokens. And I said, I've got my own printer. Let me see what I can do. And the resin and everything else has come a long ways from 6 years ago. And not only that, but the programs, so we've started making smoke like with the new Martian Manhunter having his Martian smoke. So we have a green smoke for that. The Scarecrow and whatnot, we made a yellow one. We've got a red one for the fire smoke because we've had that in a few sets over the last couple of years.
Yep.
And then your just basic smoke. So that way, as people are playing and on different teams, there's no confusion of whose smoke is whose. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to find ways of making the game aesthetics a little bit easier compared to the cardboard that everybody gets from starter sets or had forever.
Yep.
So aside from printing incredible resin accessories for clicks, what do you do for a living primarily?
So my main job, I work for Caliber Collision, which they're pretty much nationwide, and I work within the parts department and also do some writing of estimates. And I've been doing that for the better part of 8 years.
Awesome. I just needed a collision estimator this past 2 weeks. My daughter is 15 and learning to drive, and I let her take one of her friends home who was just in the neighborhood. So I wasn't too worried about, she's not technically old enough, but blah, blah, blah. And she was backing out of the drive, and the back driver's side door was just slightly ajar and caught the bumper of my Jeep as she was backing out and just pretty much bent the door in half.
Oh my God.
And this car is 3 months old.
Oh, wow.
So you keep making her wait till she's 21 now before she tries again.
Yeah, my wife is not letting her forget it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we were actually on the way to a comic book store. I was getting in a friend's older brother's car, and it was a similar kind of thing where the passenger door was still open, and I don't know, I thought someone was going to close it, and no one did, and the dude started backing up, and like it was on the right side of the driveway, and there was like a basketball pole, and the door just like bent backwards on the basketball pole. I haven't thought about that in years, but I was more.
Every time you see Tommy Boy, you should think of it, though.
No, we all do stupid things. I'm just glad that her stupid thing was in our driveway and it was our own vehicle, so we didn't have to deal with somebody else. But now we have a door needs replaced, and that's going to be, it's quite expensive. So, but that's why we have insurance.
Oh yeah, no, and not only that, but I mean, just from the paint and whatnot, and it's not just the door that has to be dealt with. Because when it gets into a shop, I could talk a long time about what they should be doing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it is definitely more involved.
I was creeping on Goated Gaming's stuff just recently. I didn't even realize that was you. Are you based out of Greenfield?
Greenwood.
Greenwood. Okay, that's like 45 minutes further south or something, right? I'm new to Indiana.
Yeah,
we're just to the south of Indy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm just east of Indy. Then we one of our locals is from Greenwood. You're gonna have to come check it out. We are going to be opening up a shop here in the next month or two.
Okay, yeah, because I used to come to Convectioners, Keith, and see Brandon and Grover, G-Man.
Yep, that's our crew. And I'm working with Wes. This is like Confection Connection 2.0, essentially. We're leaving the coffee and confection and bakery side of it and focusing just on comics and games. It's going to be called Alchemy Comics and Games. Coming live here in the next month or month and a half. We might be doing a pre-release this weekend. You want to come down? Or come up?
Which day?
I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know.
Okay, because we've got Sunday at Mages on the south side, and Friday night we've got A&A Games is now starting with HeroClix in Franklin, Indiana. Because I'm working to try to grow the game on the south side.
Cool.
How did Alchemy come about? Like the name?
The name?
Yeah.
That's Keith basically put me in charge of naming it. I had been wanting to use. My biggest pastime and hobby is like turning collectibles into money to buy more collectibles and continue that hobby cycle and be able to collect beyond my means. And I've been wanting to come up with personal branding for my operation using some variation of that word, and I had never got it together. And then when Keith said that he basically let me pick the aesthetics for the place, and I was like, oh, what about just alchemy, comics, and games? And I got connected with a famous artist who's done art for Harley Davidson and the Sturgis Rally and Tool and Mastodon and String Cheese Incident. Like the rap sheet is impressive. Awesome. He's working on goal. We got some really exciting branding and mascot stuff coming up. It's very scary, but should be a lot of fun.
It's back in the day. Like you're probably quite a bit younger than me, but back in the day, we had this thing called the Yellow Pages. And
I'm older than I look.
If your name started with an A, you were more likely to get more business being at the front of the alphabet.
Does that still translate to the contemporary era?
No, now it's whoever pays the most money to Google gets
for SEI?
Go higher on the list.
Well,
yeah, that's why the sponsors are first. But yeah, back in the day, I remember all the AAA, so they can get their name first.
Yep. That massive dictionary of numbers. All right, so
AAA's and A1.
So you're in Greenfield now. I noticed on your Facebook, if it's accurate, you're originally from my old neck of the woods up in Michigan City. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm from Michigan City.
What brought you down to Indy?
Family. 25 years ago, there was nothing happening up in Northwest Indiana, and it was just one of those. Okay, had family down here, and said, okay, move down here. At the time, my wife was my girlfriend, and we decided, okay, let's try something new, somewhere new. And so, yeah, we moved down here in 2003. We decided on it in 2002, saved up a bit. So when we came down here, got our own place. And fortunately, we were able to get jobs very quickly down here.
Awesome.
And yeah, we just built a family from that.
Who's your favorite character in superhero or adjacent IP?
As far as non-hero clicks, I love Deadpool. Can't deny that one. But I've got so many. Yeah, I have so many, and I mean X-Men. Let's face it. So I was born in '79. So I mean X-Men hit cartoon world right as I'm young adult. Then the movies were really the first ones to hit beyond Blade. So I mean for me, it's the X-Men, and I mean Deadpool. Let's face it, is adjacent. With X-Force and Cable and whatnot. As far as within the game itself, depends on what the most recent set is. Because it seems like every set they're finding either a figure that they haven't used before, or they're getting one from a storyline that I can remember in comics. For me, the Iconics, they're doing so well with. So I'm really looking forward to where those are going to go with the Power Rangers and the G.I. Joe Cobra coming out. As soon as Thundercats came out, I had it because, yeah, okay, we got Thundercats. Where's the rest? He-Man and whatnot. Just bring them on.
They're all owned by Hasbro. So if Hasbro's letting us have one IP, they might let us have the rest, including
what would your dream Iconics be from something non-Marvel, non-DC, maybe nostalgic?
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd, okay.
Absolutely. I still have some of the old indie clicks. I remember Judge Death and Dredd, and then they have the BPRD, with Hellboy and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, if they went for a comic but non DC Marvel, that's where I would want to see.
Gnarly.
All right, so this next question, I kind of posted about it on Facebook last week, and I got a ton of hate mail for it. Still rolling in, so I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this, because you brought up X-Men. X-Men 97, Season 2. What are your thoughts?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I finished 96, or whatever they wanted to consider the original, and I've just gotten into 97, so I'm not exactly a binger. I'll watch 1, 2, and then let it gestate in my head before moving on.
Ryan, have you seen it yet?
I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was fine. You know, I really enjoyed the first season, largely because of how it helped me relate to the HeroClix set, because I had tried to watch it and didn't get super into it when it first came out, and then after playing a bunch with X-Men 97, the set, going back through is like, oh, that's who Bolivar Trask is. Okay. And like being able to relate it to something I was already familiar with went a long way. And I don't know, the second season seems cool. It was fun that they like put the one spin on it with X-Force. What was the hate mail?
So I said it's enjoyable, but it is not hitting me the same way Season 1 did. That it's not keeping up to the standard that Season 1 set. And man, people got mad at me for that. I'm enjoying it. I'm 3 or 4 episodes in now. For new one should probably drop tomorrow. But I don't know, it seems slow. It feels more like the original, non-revamped, cool. Like the first season, the opening scene of the very first episode is Cyclops diving out of the jet and landing using his visor to guide himself down, and then blasting himself back and forth around the scene. And it was something we hadn't seen before. It was epic. And this one just kind of started out just slow. And I know that they're
He blasted himself around at some point during the first couple episodes. I remember being like, oh, he's still doing that. Okay.
There is one scene with Jubilee that is pretty awesome. Which, to make Jubilee awesome, that's quite a feat.
I think I remember what you mean. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I don't know. I think it's cool they're like gearing up to go try and like fight Apocalypse throughout time. But
yeah.
I will say to argue against myself that like having your main villain story arc involve timeline jumping and time travel. I mean, you just poking a million plot holes preemptively. There's no way that can be done very cleanly. And I don't know what it is about Apocalypse that always like seemed very boring to me as a villain. He seems like almost like not like the Superman of villains, but just like he's so powerful and so like epic that and speaking as a Galactus fan, this feels completely hollow to say that he's too powerful, but I don't know why he never really grabbed me. Hopefully he will in these next 2 episodes. I've been meaning to get back to it.
Yeah.
I was more excited to watch the new Rick and Morty, which I did just like half an hour ago.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's an enjoyable show. It's just not hitting me as hard as the first one. Maybe that's because the first one had set the standard so high that they can't re-achieve it. They can't reinvent the wheel, but
I feel like it's hitting me about as hard as the first season, which is to say very medium. So I think I like it about as much as US, but I don't think I like the first season that much more. So put me in with the hate mail.
The show that I did love was Spire Noir with Nicolas Cage.
Same. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. No, not same as you. Same as X-Men 97, where it was super mid. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. The last one I watched ended with a cliffhanger, with like a gun in someone's face. And the fact that was a month ago and I haven't felt compelled to go back to it is telling, because it was super mid. I don't know.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Okay. So were you watching it in black and white or color?
Color. Is that
I
a
watched
mistake?
the color.
You might want to try black and white.
I cannot imagine that making things better for me. I cannot imagine it.
So I went back and watched the Justice League movie
Mhm.
because they
Well,
re-released Zack Snyder, and then I watched it in black and white, and it felt different.
I can see
I
that.
know it's kind of weird sounding, but it does feel different.
I'll give it a shot. I don't have very high expectations of that making a positive impact. Do they have like
Well-
little like splashes of color like Sin City did, or is it like old school full black and white?
If I remember correctly, there was a little bit of red, but
Okay.
it was basically black and white. So, but yeah, like you brought up Sin City, those movies in black and white just were different. I mean, if I saw them in color, I don't think that they would have been as good.
I can see that.
Yeah, maybe not. That's a good point. I mean, and like I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan too, but I can't even remember what it was. I was just like, oh, meh. And then when I went back to rewatch it, it wasn't on Disney anymore. Maybe it never was on Disney, but
It's on Prime.
Yeah.
right, was it ever on Disney? Did I just imagine?
I don't think they got it.
I was at a buddy's when we watched the first few episodes. I just assumed it was Disney because why wouldn't it be? It's freaking Spider-Man. But
I feel
But
like
it's Spider Noir is underneath that whole Sony. Yeah, that issue.
you mentioned the X-Men movies earlier, and it's so funny how far we've come. That those are, I think, just I don't know. I'm biased because I don't give a shit about the X-Men, but those movies were so bad. Even back then, it was like, well, maybe we'll try in another decade or two to make superhero movies work.
But at the same time, it's all we had. I mean, I don't think we got Iron Man till 06? 8.
It was great.
You know, so I mean, when you look at outside of that, there was what Fantastic Four had their movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna jump
we had
ahead.
Blade 2 and Trinity.
On that note, too, I'm going to jump ahead to one of the other questions. What is your? I think the question is, what is you think the most overrated MCU? But give me over or underrated or both if you've got either.
For me, underrated would probably be the Eternals.
Really?
Okay.
I like the fact that they went to a completely its own story. It didn't try to like really tie into any other part of the MCU, outside of the fact that you had Jon Snow, the future Black Knight, because he has the blade there. They're in London. I mean, to me, it was a lost opportunity, at least so far, that they haven't tied in the Moon Knight. Since he's also taking place in London, in museum.
Wouldn't you need a whole handful of Oscar Isaacs for that? I was just about to say Oscar Isaac was holding it down in that Eternals movie because he was in the Eternals movie too, right?
No,
No.
you're thinking of Rob Snow from Game of Thrones.
What?
Because you have, the actor that played Rob Snow is the lead Icarus or whatnot.
Okay. Really? Hang on. This is driving me nuts. Why do I think that?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Oscar Isaac is Apocalypse in the X-Men
He
movies.
does a lot. He does a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting
hell.
enough, I read that internet is the internet, and there's conspiracy theories galore and supposed leaks. But I read that the Eternals are going to have a huge part of the MCU going forward.
Well, I mean, they did change the Earth.
Wait, the half the movie revolves around a celestial corpse. That's my bread and butter, man.
But to me, that movie, I mean, they had actors, good actors, and yeah, I mean, if you looked at it, for me, it was like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It was just its own breath of air. As far as overrated, probably Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I like the third one better than the second one.
Is the second one the one with Ego?
Yeah, the Kurt Russell one, yeah.
Yeah.
The third one was
you can't come here for scorching my movie dad, Kurt Russell, but I'll give you overrated on it anyway.
Well, I mean, the third one, you had the whole Groot. You had Groot getting older. You had, finally again, and you had the whole Rocket and his backstory, and you had Peter going back home. I mean, there was just more there than the second one, and first one's awesome. But yeah, as far as MCU goes, the TV series have their own issues, even though they're tied into the MCU. For me, the most underrated was probably Ms. Marvel of the shows. Just as, again, because it was doing its own thing, and then they eventually tied her in with the Marvels.
I like that show.
Which that movie was different with them, Photon, Captain Marvel, and Ms. Marvel. But no, I mean, I thought that series was sort of overlooked. Whether it was stigmatized or not, I don't know. But it was a good show. I mean, you're talking about coming of age. To me, it was better than Echo. It was better than some of those others that got higher ratings.
Ironheart. I haven't watched any of these. I could not identify Les with a teenage girl. Actually, maybe that's not true, but
I don't know what it is about this plot line, but I always love it when it's Miss Marvel or Spider-Man, where they are fanboys that become superheroes, and they're kind of fulfilling their own dream of being a celebrity kind of thing. And I just think that's so funny. I can only imagine if superheroes were real and we had all of a sudden had superpowers. How cool would that be? And what would we think? What would we do?
I never thought about that. Yeah. That's a really good point and really endearing. I don't know how much of that is just Tom Holland's fake ass Brooklyn accent being like, "Oh my God, Tony Stark." But it is super endearing and really goes a long way in shoring up my interest for street level heroes, which I'm normally intensely bored by. You're in high school, come see me when you're on Titan, clutching Tony Stark in fear while you dissolve.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't watch almost any movie, but especially superhero movies, without thinking about how these characters would be portrayed in HeroClix. How would these powers be translated into HeroClix form? And that's always a fun mind game for me once I'm watching a movie.
Well, and that's where with Next Phase and whatnot, they try, but it seems like they come up short.
Well, Next Phase was pulling from such a, I'm sorry to say, infinitely boring pool of MCU stuff. I mean, the next phase of the MCU has failed unquestionably. And I mean, She-Hulk was a fun show, I think, but I mean, I don't know.
The fact that Daredevil carried the show and he was like 3 episodes says a lot.
And also completely absent in Next Phase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He had a couple of figures that were pretty good, but he had one that could outwit or something. But yeah. No, I don't know. I think it's fun to do that kind of stuff. So do you have any super proud moments of HeroClix because you've been playing?
For me, it would have been probably it was a long time ago, 2012, playing against George Masao at Gen Con.
Well, that was near his prime too, as I understand it, right?
Yeah, he autographed my Black Adam card.
Nice.
Awesome.
Just getting the autograph, or was there some moment in the game that you were proud of?
Oh, I got obliterated. Yeah, no. Getting the card signed, that was peak right there. As far as in-game going, it was probably when I won the Thanos. The one where during Galactic Guardians, where it's him on the throne.
Like the big multi-base throne?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, the one that was his card was part 1 through 5, depending on which portion you were doing. Because you could play him as himself or the throne portion of it. I still have all of my old trophies. The Bat Cave from No Man's Land.
Awesome. Oh, I forgot to say this too. I'm really bad about this. I always forget to say, down in the comments below, I want to hear what the audience thinks about X-Men 97 Season 2. Do you guys think that I'm wrong and that it's the best show ever? Or are you going to send me hate mail? Or what do you guys think about Season 2?
We also want to know what you think is over and underrated the MCU. I mean, any of these questions, like add your voice to the dialogue. Especially if you think we're wrong. Especially if you think you're wrong and full of shit and want to be loud about that. Let's go.
So, Paul, you have a family. Do any of them play HeroClix with you?
My son, he's getting ready to turn 17. But yeah, no, he comes with me almost every weekend. We play Clicks, and then on the computer, he's the most recently designed a Guardians of the Galaxy token that's on my site from scratch. And that one turned out pretty phenomenal.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's playing wise, he's getting there. He's young, but it's a good time for both of us.
Does your wife give you crap about it?
No, she's happy that we go play.
Cool.
That gives her a Sunday afternoon without us.
You have girls, right?
I have my oldest is 22 and my youngest is 8. So my youngest, she has her own clicks and she likes to look at them, but she's not there yet for playing yet. And my oldest used to come with me to the comic book store that we played at, and she would play behind the counter while we got in our 3 matches.
Awesome.
And she's got a case around here somewhere full of old clicks.
Awesome. So what is your play style like? Are you hyper competitive?
No, I pay attention to what meta is, but like this week we've got a in theme with the Fight for Gotham coming out, so we're doing like a Golden Age, 400 points. So I've got like my team is the Iconics, Ivy, the Bane from Nightfall. I've got the Legacy Mr. Freeze from Joker's Wild, and then I've got the Ventriloquist and Poison Ivy from the Play at Home kit from Notorious.
The new Ventriloquist?
Yes, with my Scarface ready to pop out.
Nice.
So yeah, not expecting it to be competitive, but it's an Arkham Asylum theme.
Aside from the scale of competitive to casual, like on the table, is there a specific style of play that you like? Are you very aggressive? Are you defensive? You like to pull off a weird combination of some kind? Like I just want a full movement charge piece that's gonna hold on their own and smash.
Yeah, depending on what we've got for the build. I loved Colossus from Deadpool. Get him in motorcycle, get a little TK going. Because I still have all my old figs. The Ancient One Legacy pops out quite a bit, having a 10 range telekinesis, so that I can either put somebody out there or pull somebody back. Same thing with the Lord Marvell, who has 10 range. For me, I am a sit back there and ping you before you can get to me, and then I'll have some try to have 1 or 2 people sort of like Tweel D. I think it's D. That's the, charge 4, creates the walrus that can charge for 4, does 4 damage. So it's like try to ping you down before you can get to me, and then have my beaters come in there.
So you sound like an Eye of Agamotto player then. You seen that new terrain piece in the OP kit?
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
That thing is broken.
I got wrecked by that thing just yesterday at the shop. Brian was playing a Prime Cable and Hadari team, and he had Chase Sinister and Share Panther at the back line, and they just used the eye to make Cable go extra hard and killed all of my support pieces. And I realized, like, oh, my Hydra and Eternity don't actually work without any perplexes or enhancements, and this whole team is bad. I need to start over.
Yeah, we last week we had a guy that was running I won't say it's too similar, but he was running the Mr. Sinister and the Prime cable, or the Super Rare cable, and he was running a Sentinel, and he had Rogue Prime on his team, and yeah, it just wasn't pretty. That Sinister just turning stuff off.
Brian also had Hogoth on the Sinister, so he was using that eye to double up perplexes and outwits. It was not cool. My Eddie Munson died way too fast. Just like my Crampton Pug and my Copycat and my Kooky Cap, and I had Kooky Quicksilver stashed way on the other side with the Bloodstone, but it's like, oh, it's my turn 2 and I don't have any more support.
Paul, do you play BRs a lot?
On the occasions that we actually have product in the store that can do it. Outside of that, it's usually if one of us buys a brick, then we'll just get together for some friendly BRs to open the bricks.
Do you need any Gotham bricks? I literally just went and picked up all of our order from Universal this afternoon.
Do you get any vault boosters?
No, they don't have them yet.
Ah.
Do you get
I
yours?
saw it in somebody else's post.
The only person I've seen that got him was Wes Summers.
He must not be getting through Universal, or
He's probably Southern. I think he does Southern Hobby down there.
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Universal does not have them yet.
Well, I was curious about, like, in any kind of sealed environment, what is your strategy when you open a booster to build your team? What are you gravitating for? The powers, the stat numbers, point values. What are you looking for when you start building?
A lot of times it's looking to see the specials, special traits and whatnot. We just did a pre-release 2 weeks ago when they got 2 cases in of pre-release, and my 2 packs, I had nothing more rare than rare. My 2 rares was Alfred and Raven. But my team, I went 2-1 because I was running Lucius Fox and Alfred and Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, and I had Tweedledee, and I was running everything except Raven and Black Mask, and I had a Batarang even. So it's more when you're in the sealed environment. A lot of times I'm looking for synergy, people that can play off of other people, and yeah, having Lucius Fox with his giving Quake 3 damage to Dick Grayson, who could sidestep twice and then Quake. Finding those little chinks in the armor where you're going against people that are running Absolute Batman, or they're running Smoke Batman, or they're running Ninja Batman with other ninjas. It's synergy sometimes can get you through a game.
So you're the player every sealed team needs, because you've got the dummy like me who wants the tent pole. You've got the guy who's going to take the super rares, and then you need a guy who's going to make magic happen with the CUR garbage. And it sounds like you did.
It's really hard in a sealed environment to have synergy because, like, especially with Fight for Gotham, has been really interesting sealed because a lot of the good figures are only good because they tie into the Astrals, the Goons, the Bystanders that they poop out, and a lot of times those don't come in the same boosters. So then you're stuck with a piece that should be good but isn't that good, and you have to think about, okay, what else does it do?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's where I was, I guess, lucky that I had 2 boosters that were not overly primed. The other one I had in my team was Arsenal. So Arsenal had his Outlaws thing with Jason Todd. I mean, they each, there was at least 2 figures that kind of worked together. And then Tweedledee creating the Walrus. He's his own wrecking machine.
All right, so anybody listening to this, if you have a sealed Fight for Gotham set coming up, if you pull Merlin, play him. I played 6 games in the last week, and anybody that played Merlin won. The guy is a monster.
That was my one loss was the Merlin team.
Merlin sees through everything, shoots from halfway across the map. He is insane.
Yeah, not me over here reviewing units.
It's a really interesting set for Sealed, because it is so hard to get the synergy going and that kind of stuff. Do you have any rituals for HeroClix, like certain dice or certain pair of socks, or?
No, because they all seem to fail.
Okay.
Dice get hot, dice get cold. Yeah, no, it's just hoping that what comes out happens in my favor. Because at the end of the day, we are rolling dice. On paper, people that should win don't always win because the dice are not their friend.
Yes, the dice gods giveth and he taketh away, especially on
Merlin's
roll
only
20.
an uncommon?
What?
Merlin is only uncommon?
Yeah, he's insane.
Heaven help us. Maybe I'll sit out from the pre-release this weekend. Just sell packs.
Merlin's really good. There's a lot of really good pieces in the low rarities on this set. I think that the designers are trying to beef up the lower rarities and kind of dial back the higher rarities so that there's not quite the skill gap between them. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just guessing.
I think part of it could just be to help pulp.
Yeah. But there's I think Strange Tales had a killer 001, I think it was. And I was like, wow, if this is one, what else is coming in this set?
Oh yeah. Strange Tales 001 Doctor Strange is one of the best 001s ever, probably. I'm too new to the game to say something like that with any confidence.
I remember back in Disney Plus, there was 001 Captain Carter that was like a 13 attack or something crazy. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So what else you got, Ryan?
Well, let's see. This is a fun question. Paul, if you were an action figure, what accessory would you come with?
Wow, that's an interesting one.
We fired from the hip over here.
You know what? I would, to keep it in the realm of HeroClix, I would want to come with the Cloak of Levitation.
I mean, that's a pretty good answer. Yeah, sidestep.
I mean, outside of that, maybe the glider. But yeah, Cloak of Levitation would be a good one for me.
Running shot click on the glider? The glider has a running shot click, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm surprised the glider doesn't use more. It's a really good equipment. I mean, yes, it's not the motorcycle, but it's getting flight alone is awesome.
You can get flight so much cheaper, though. 15 points is a lot, and there's no qualifying keywords.
I'm glad to see is the lack of pogs. They're super hard to get.
Oh, you know what? No, there's no running shot on the Spider-Verse glider.
Really?
That was the Goblin glider from Earth X gave running shot.
Okay. So Paul,
Did it give like energy explosion?
The Spider-Verse one gives flying on every click. The one click gives a 2 movement bonus for flying, along with energy explosion and energy shield deflection. The other clicks are 1 movement bonus each. You can get precision strike and combat reflexes, or blades, claws, and willpower. Yeah, all right. I mean, plus 2 movement and flying, plus energy explosion, deflection. Like it's probably a lot easier to just play the flying carpet and get plus 1 movement and flying and save 10 points for energy explosion and deflection. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Paul, if you had to play only one universe going forward, DC or Marvel, you get whatever sets come out in that universe, but you can only play DC or only play Marvel. Which would you choose?
Marvel, since they only put out one DC a year.
Yeah, but that
Yeah,
one DC is usually pretty broken.
true, but it's a war of attrition. Um, you get enough Marvel stuff in there. Um, yeah, and not to mention all the iconics that they've been doing from the Marvel side, because now we have giant size X-Men coming. Um, not to mention we had the first appearances with the Avengers, X-Men, um, first appearance Spider-Man, which was just kind of goofy. Um, but yeah, no, I would have to roll with Marvel.
That's fair. Uh, is that because you like the characters more? Also,
Um, I'm 50-50 when I think about all of the reading I do of the comics. I'm I prefer the cosmic side of things. Um, you know, I was really big. That's why I still have my Lord Marvel. I was really big into War of Realms and the War of Kings and that whole run with Vulcan and the Kree and Shi'ar, and it's post Annihilation. Um, if it's Galactus and Thanos, and I mean, I still have the original Infinity Gauntlet, Crusade, War. Um, that's where my jam is. I really want an awesome Adam Warlock.
I have the Annihilation comic series in a stack just off camera that Keith has set aside and insisted that I read, along with a bunch of other Hulk stuff. But that's the Annihilation series is basically what he said I need to get into immediately.
Yeah, I mean, once that finishes, don't stop there. As an author, Dan Abnett, who is not only in the Marvel side of things, but he's also one of the games I used to play, which is Warhammer 40K, and he wrote some of the Horus Heresy type novels.
Warhammer has some of the craziest lore. I'm interested to explore your background as a Warhammer player relative clicks. I remember when I went to Adepticon for the first time with WizKids, like, oh, this is a minis convention, and we're peddling largely miniatures games. And I remember a couple people came by the booth, and we had, I don't think it was a free thing, but it was like a gift with purchase. And people looked at it, and they're like, it wasn't clicks, it was like a D&D mini, but they looked at it and they're like, oh, this is pre-painted. And I'm like, wait, that's not a selling point. Like, oh man, I don't get this corner of hobbying whatsoever. And Warhammer to me was always like, not only is this an incredibly elaborate, complex on the table game, you also have to spend 50 hours crafting and gluing and painting before you're even ready to play. And that to me just sounds like a fucking nightmare, pardon my language. So how would you approach that game versus clicks? Do you even see them in the same ballpark or field of play at all? Like, tell me about that.
The only thing that they have in common is you're rolling dice. Because so I played Warhammer, started in 3rd edition. So this would have been 2004 ish. And I still own my 3 armies. I have an Imperial Guard army, I have a Space Marines army, and I have a Dark Eldar army, which they now call them Drukari or something else. I left the game before it got to that point. But I mean, no, I had show up with like a laser pointer, and you show up with a tape measure because your board is 4 foot by 6 foot. I have a collection of White Dwarf magazine that talked a lot about the UK side of things. I've got so much terrain because you make your own physical terrain, and they changed all the rules on that. They had a giant thick book called Imperial Armor, that I own. It cost me like $100. I bought it down in Memphis, Tennessee, at one of their battle bunkers, and it gave rules for playing a team that is entirely tanks. And I said, "That's me." So yes, I would show up with my book and open it up to my army, and I would proceed to lay out like I think 11 or 12 tanks.
And so, do you mean like actual vehicle tanks, or do you mean like a guy who takes all your hits tank?
No, tanks.
Okay.
Lehman Russ tanks, and varieties of Lehman Russ is their like standard tank. And then they had their chimeras, which are troop transports. They have heavy ones, devastators, demolishers, plasma cannons. Yeah, my opponent would sit there with like 60 little people, and I would have 10 tanks, and I would just start waylaying them from my side of the board onto their side of the board.
So, do you approach these two hobbies at all in the same way, or is it just incidental that they're 3-dimensional, played on a grid?
Well, I mean, it's not even played on a grid. But I mean, I would say I approach them in the same way as far as strategy, looking at the terrain. I do look for. I mean, I came from when hindering used to hinder. Now it's more just for targeting.
As someone who's only been around the game for a couple of years, what does that mean?
So water and hindering terrain used to cost you 2 movement per square.
Okay, I play other like Dungeon Crawler games where that's a factor.
Right. And so that's where hindering used to. That's why in the complete rulebook, improved movement hindering doesn't exist anymore.
Improved movement water or improved targeting water used to exist as well once upon a time, right?
Well, you still now the rule is if you're a dolphin figure and you're in water, you can't be seen unless you're within 4 squares.
Right, but there's nothing else. Like water effectively does nothing else besides interact with dolphin figures.
Right. It used to also hinder movement. Yeah, and that's where. But at the same time, also we had the 16 by 24 maps back then. So yeah, I mean, I still look at the terrain the same way and look at elevations and try to see where I can gain the system, if you will. Especially when you have, like you were mentioning, Merlin and being able to target through elevation. Use it to your advantage. They can't see me, but I can see them. And so that's where in Warhammer and my tanks, I could shoot blindly because they had a scatter sort of die that you used to have to roll. You pinpoint a location and you roll a die, and your targeting is off by X number of inches in a certain direction. Whereas with HeroClix, it's pretty obvious. Counting up the squares, how far you can see if you move, if you TK, if you sidestep. You don't have the guessing because in 40K you couldn't measure until you designated your attack, and then all of a sudden you pull out and okay, I've got 36-inch range or 48-inch range, and their person is an inch on beyond there. Okay, I can't see you. Yeah,
I hate this so much. Oh my gosh, just like knowing that I can set up my whole turn and my opponent might roll out of my attacks. I've only got like a 75% chance of achieving my turn's goal. What a nightmare. Do you still mess with any Warhammer?
No. I look at them. I'm on plenty of sites that discuss what new stuff is coming out, things along those lines, because the lore. One of their books, Let the Galaxy Burn, is just an amazing collection of like 39 stories, I think it is, which I thought was kind of odd. Warhammer 40K, why don't you have 40 stories? But
oh my gosh, they must have had
exactly.
to the last second to save that. Wow, what a missed opportunity.
But I mean, from a storyline, we have all these great comic books and Warhammer 40K. I mean, yes, they have Henry Cavill behind him. Because he has a new show coming. Um, but it's like their stories are so in depth. Um,
I
it's
spent
amazing.
a lot of time getting into the Warhammer storyline. It is crazy the amount of depth and weirdness and crazy there. Yeah.
I was just in this discussion this morning with my local HeroClix crew about somebody was complaining about how expensive breaks are getting because they're going up again, and I was like, "Have you looked at other games? Because as far as I can tell, HeroClix is one of the cheapest games of this type out there. Warhammer is like astronomically expensive, right?"
Well, the so the only thing that I would say, I guess that they would say as a counter to that is that my stuff from 20 years ago, I can still put on the table, and it still is legitimate.
Yeah.
Whereas on clicks, it's like, okay, if it's beyond silver, hope it gets a legacy.
Now, Paul, do you mean legitimate as in legal or legitimate as in can hold its own against contemporary pieces? Because both need to be true.
All
For
the
that
above.
to be both?
Yeah, all the above. Well, because the tank is still a tank. They still call it a Lehman Roos. And
old HeroClix, Superman is swinging with 8 attack for 1 damage on his low clicks. Like, old HeroClix do not hold up against contemporary pieces.
right. Well, so that's where in their game, as the generations of 3rd edition, 4th, 5th, and whatnot, I think they have 11th coming out now. But a Lehman Roos is still a Lehman Roos. They don't consider it Lehman Roos 3rd edition. It's a Lehman Roos tank.
So you can still buy the new ones, but your old ones are still the same thing?
Exactly.
All right.
That's why I say, from a longevity standpoint, I put my tank on there, and it still is no different from a gaming standpoint than one that somebody just picked up yesterday.
Well, you had to spend 75 to 350 hours getting your pieces table ready. So, yeah, I would hope you get some decades worth of use out of them.
So how's it being so fresh then? If everything holds its value the same, what makes the game evolve over time?
Well, because what they do is that, for one, they've changed. I mean, when you go back to 2nd edition and some of 3rd edition, they used metal miniatures, and those have all transitioned away into plastic. And then they would come out with accessories. So, like the plasma cannon and some of those things, they would make those out of resin, and that's why you could only get them at the battle bunker or order them out of England. But you have to remember, it's a tank, so the turrets are all swappable. So the game evolves from that standpoint, that you can always buy more accessories, and you have some of those insane people that are just pure collectors, that want to make each variation. Because most of those tanks had about 4 different build variations, because you had side sponsons. You had some of those guys that would do the rare earth magnets and make it so that they could pop one off, pop one on, from game to game. Because you had some that had flamers, some that had heavy bolters. I mean, it's a very customizable game, and where it evolves is in their rules editions and them coming out with new armies, new sides of the armies, but your basics are still the backbone. So that's where with the Marines, probably 3-4 editions ago, they came out with these Primaris Marines that are bigger. I never bothered other than looking at them. But that's how the game has evolved, is that they still have their basics, which go all the way back to when I played, that are still a viable piece. They just come out with more stuff. And similar to how HeroClix has had their point cost reset, that's how they figure those things in, is that they'll start downgrading points on older figures, and then their new, bright shiny ones that they put out there. It's the creep, a power creep. But at the same time, you have those people that are orcs, that throw out there 150 little goblins and whatnot, and yeah, they're fodder, but at the same time, attrition, they could overrun you. So it's a very unique that game has been going for longer than HeroClix, and is still going strong. I think part of their thing is that they also have video games.
Yeah.
The Warhammer 40K video games are pretty awesome. We get comic book video games, but they're based on movies or TV shows, things along those lines. Nothing that plays similar to Clicks. Whereas for them, they've had the Total War computer games. They've had games on the consoles. That's part of, I think, for them, they can bring in new tabletop players by playing video games first and then get the urge to find out what the tabletop is about. And that's where I think Clicks, from a visibility standpoint in the pop culture or lack of, is its hindrance. Because let's face it, we haven't seen WizKids put out posters for a coming set in how many decades?
Years. I'm pretty sure there was posters for some combination of Next Phase or Deadpool Weapon X a little over 2 years ago. I remember that.
Yeah,
but
I watch Disney Plus, obviously, and I'm poor, so I don't watch the premium channel version, so I have to watch the ads. And Magic has been pushing their Marvel set coming out. Every other commercial, it's nauseating. But I'm like, man, if they can make a halfway decent commercial out of a card game, Hugo should be able to do something. I wish they could get a producer on the line and make a HeroClix commercial and put it on Disney Plus. Then I think we'd get some traction.
Yeah, it's another one of those that it's surprising with WizKids that they didn't want to go to, that they're, they kind of flip flop between Origins and Gen Con.
I think that's to do with Gen Con is very expensive, even for the
that's a slam dunk no brainer. I'm speaking from bias, but like the amount, the costs to the average attendee to get to a table to play HeroClix is going to be like 3 to 5, if not more, X than attending Origins. Similarly, the amount of table space allowed, or granted to us at Origins versus Gen Con is a comparable multiplier of 3 to 5X. It was such a no-brainer. It's astonishing that anyone came to Origins or anyone came to Gen Con for HeroClix at all, because that convention is like the SDCC of the Midwest now. I was doing marketing and photo coverage from Gen Con from 2012 to 23, and the attendance more than doubled over that decade. And it's a nightmare. Even as someone with a lifetime badge to Gen Con and now within 30 minutes of Indy, I'm dreading Gen Con. And moving the Summer Nationals HeroClix event to Origins was a complete no-brainer. No-brainer.
When they moved from Gen Con to Origins again, I remember hearing numerous people say, "Oh, good, now I can afford to go to Nationals again," because they just couldn't afford to go to Gen Con. But Origins was actually reasonable for them to go to.
And it allowed us to run Nationals as more like Worlds, where it's an open registration Saturday thing where, everybody comes in, and if you want to play, you're in, because we've got the space, as opposed to having to run those elaborate BS weird qualifier things, and actual Nationals is 16 people. It was such a weird, convoluted thing. It's just the amount of pros in the column of moving it to Origins was so high. It was I'm glad that it happened and that I was involved in that, because it seems like a slam dunk.
Well, speaking of Gen Con, Red, White, and Clicks is giving away tickets or passes to Gen Con.
Which is crazy because
yeah.
we've just established how expensive that convention is, including the cost of badges. And what do 4-day badges cost? Like
Yeah. So
$150.
one 4-day badge is $164. I'm giving away two passes to two groups. So there's two pairs of passes going out.
Like $600, $750 plus dollars.
Yeah. So two lucky winners are going to get over $300 worth of passes. And all you have to do is go to redwhiteandclicks.org. You get one free entry just for a sweepstakes. You just enter in answer a couple questions so I know, that you were there. And then you get an entry in. And on July 12th, I will announce the winner. If you want extra entries, you are able to get those by going to the online store at redwineclicks.org. For every $10 you spend, you get an extra entry. So the person who won the Origins passes, I think, bought like a map and a T-shirt, and they had 11 entries in the drawing. So of course they won. And so far, I have over 30 people that have done the free entry into the Gen Con sweepstakes. None of them have bought anything extra. So they just had the one name in there. So if somebody wants to go in there and buy a t-shirt or buy a map, which these maps are awesome, designed by Jay Patel, they're only $30 or $35, I can't remember. But you get 3 extra entries. So you get 4 entries total plus your free one. And you're going to have a leg up on all those 30 other people that put their names in.
I didn't realize it was every $10. Maybe that's why. Wes, here's a question that people watching may ask. Is there any overlap between this contest and the promo that we're running through Paul's shop?
I don't know if overlap.
Like if people are buying stuff from Paul to get it.
No, they were separate. Paul's thing is his thing, and the Gen Con thing is our thing. Very appreciative of Paul for doing the donation to us. But yeah, it's not related as far as buying his stuff doesn't get you an entry into the Gen Con. But shout out to Gen Con for giving us these 4 passes. That was amazing. I reached out to them on a whim. Because I wanted to try to get a table there, and they said, "Well, it's too late in the season. You can't get it. We'll try to get one next year." But here's, and I said, "Well, how about a pass?" They're like, "Okay, here's 4 passes." I'm like, so
we'll talk off air. I'm curious who you connected with. Everybody at Gen Con is amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who wins it and get the reaction because they're not cheap. They are not cheap. So. Having these, I'm like afraid to touch them. They're so valuable. So yeah, just go to redwineclicks.org, get your free entry, buy a map, and you get 3 extra entries. Easy peasy. Just make sure you get in before midnight on July 11th because that is the end of the contest.
Well, let's mix it up. I got a couple food related questions that I'm bracing for the response to as a Chicago native addressing Indiana folk. What do you put on your hot dogs, Paul?
All right, so I am a Chicago dog kind of guy. I've got my jar of sport peppers. I've got a big container of celery salt. I'm ready to chop up tomatoes, onions, pickle spear.
Let's go.
If I can get a Chicago dog, I'm getting a Chicago dog.
Man.
Outside of that, all right. So my first job was in a root beer stand, doing the French fries and onion rings. I was the fry guy. So needless to say, I having hot dogs through my high school years of working. I am absolutely a Chicago dog guy because I can't do the kraut dog. Mustard, onion, relish. I am a sweet relish guy. My wife is a dill relish. So we always have to maintain 2 jars of it in the house. If I'm getting a hot dog, it's Nathan's all beef and a Chicago style.
I worked at a buddy of mine was his family is super Greek, and they've run Euro restaurants for years, and I spent a summer working in their Euro restaurant, and I don't know if anyone actually ordered this, but it was on the menu. But it was I haven't thought about this in ages. It was a hot dog on a French roll wrapped in bacon with Swiss cheese and grape jelly. It was so good. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about this, and I feel like I'm turning my back on my hipster Pilsen roots of Chicago, talking about such awful things on a hot dog. But I mean, you went Chicago, so good answer as far as I'm concerned. Wes, do you have anything to add on the topic of hot dogs or
you mentioned
glizzies, as the kids call them nowadays? I don't get that, but I can't wait to see whoever from DGen eat a pocket glizzy at Worlds.
I'm a simple guy on hot dogs. I'll just a little bit of ketchup, maybe some mustard. I don't know. I like the Dijon mustard, the little spice to it. But just tonight, I had jalapeno sausages, brats that I grill on the grill, and my daughter loves those things. She doesn't like jalapeno stuff, but she loves the little bit of jalapeno pieces mixed in with the brat.
So we're talking brats. I like a little bit of mayo and mustard and onion. And as a Chicago person, this is profane sacrilege. But honestly, ketchup is okay on a hot dog. Like,
okay, wait. It's mayo or Miracle Whip?
I mean, I'll take whatever's in the fridge, but honestly, I have not experimented enough to really definitively answer that. I mean, whenever Miracle Whip is an option, I'm inclined to go that way just because, like, I don't know, it's got that pop, yo.
What do you say, Paul? Miracle Whip or
Hellman's
mayonnaise?
Hellman's, Bama. I'm okay with Duke's, but that's because I also like to use it to make grilled cheese.
So
it's better than butter.
So you mentioned fries. What fast food chain has the best fries?
Oof. I'm a steak fry guy. Oh yeah. Probably Arby's curly fries.
Oh, you can say something so bizarre and then land on such a great answer.
I do. I love the curly fries, man. They give me the worst burps, but
I mean, we're talking like general fried potato side. I don't think you can top a tater tot, but I don't think there's any fast food places that really have fries like this. But you get them at bars occasionally, where it's like extra beer battery and crispy. I feel like the closest fast food analog we have is Burger King, but we know that McDonald's is putting literal narcotics in their fries, which I'm okay with. I mean,
they do something to their Coke, man. I don't know what it is about McDonald's Coke, but it tastes different than every.
They've got the 1890s recipe. It's actual cocaine, Wes, especially in Indiana.
That is a bomb, man. I love their
beef tallow is like 15% raw opium.
Well, Steak and Shake has gone back to tallow for their fries.
Right. I'm not sure if I can even eat those. I've got a beef allergy, and I haven't wanted to roll the dice or find out if tallow fries matter. I don't think they do, but it's not worth it.
I will say Steak and Shake has the worst fries. I hate
the worst.
I hate shoestring fries. I hate it. I feel like there's no potato in there. It's just fried.
I mean, it's the mortal enemy of the wedge, that's for sure. You've got the least amount of potato filling versus the most, and I think that both are great if done well. But you want a wedge, like, bro, just give me a baked potato. Like, why are we messing and pretending around like this is a side thing that you're gonna eat with your hands? Like, you just want potato and skin, and that's okay, but that's not.
Just throw cheddar cheese and some bacon bits on it, and you know.
Well, yeah, we're talking baked potato, and that's cool, but that's not French fries. These fast food these are very polarizing, very, very controversial questions.
All right, so this is one that So for our regular listeners, we normally do the clicks questionnaire, and because we're revamping the show, we're trying to do things a little differently. But
We're pulling it. We're winging it.
Yeah.
Half-assing it. I mean, I'm jumping all over these questions. My bad.
I've been asking my friends all day this question because I'm very curious, and I've been surprised by the similar answers. So I'm curious what both of you guys say about this. Marry, F, and kill. We got Mary Jane from the Tobey Maguire movies. We got Andrew Garfield's Gwen Stacy and Tom Holland's MJ. Marry, F, kill.
I don't even know who those actresses are. One of them's Kirsten Dunst, right?
Yeah, that's the Mary Jane from the Tobey Maguire movies.
Let me
And then you're talking about
for a minute.
Zendaya from Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And who was Gwen Stacy in the Andrew Garfield?
Oh, what's her name?
Emma Stone?
Yes, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Okay.
Yes.
Emma Stone. All right. I guess I'm going to marry Emma Stone and bang Kirsten Dunst and kill Zendaya.
I'm almost the exact opposite. I'll kill Emma Stone. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with any configuration of it. These things are all very mediocre in my estimation.
Boy. At this point in time, marry Zendaya because she's younger, and then Kirsten Dunst on the side.
So all day I've asked my friends this, and Kirsten Dunst has landed on the kill list with every single person except for you guys.
I'm old enough where she's churning up the right kind of nostalgia for me, and Zendaya is like, isn't she in high school? Because I am much older than I look, I assure you. I know what the fucking yellow pages are.
You look like you're 25, so.
Oh, I'll take it, baby. I'm in my 40s.
So Paul, let's see here. What is your favorite adult beverage of choice?
Alabama Slammer.
What's in that?
So that's going to be Southern Comfort, some orange juice. Depending on who's the server, there's either going to be sloe gin or grenadine to top it. And then there is sometimes they'll float Jim Beam in it. But yeah, I like an Alabama Slammer.
Nice.
Did you remember Southern Comfort existed, Wes? I didn't, and I'm not sure I'm grateful that I do
Funny
now.
enough. So I
Sounds like
I don't know what it is about my metabolism, but I can hold my liquor pretty well. In the 10 years I've been married, my wife has seen me drunk once. And I remembered an old concoction my friend made up in the Army, and I tried to reinvent it recently. And it is Mountain Dew, Southern Comfort, and berry-flavored vodka.
I remember that from my early 20s.
And
I can remember.
you don't taste
picking
the
that up
alcohol
and
at
never
all.
drinking
It's super sweet. And I had two large glasses, and my wife was mad at me the next morning because I was too inebriated. And in 10 years, she has never seen me like that.
That sounds like such an awful hangover.
I don't
My
have
God.
hangovers either. I've never had a hangover.
Well, then consider yourself lucky and don't keep drinking that garbage because that's how you get hangovers. Holy shit.
Yeah, as far as the hard stuff, I'll take Southern Comfort or Hypnotic. There's another old one to bring back. Hypnotic is it's got vodka. It's blue. When you see it in the liquor store, it's like a frosted glass bottle, like the Alizé, and it's got, I want to say, vodka, maybe some tequila, cognac. It's just good. If you mix it with orange juice or pineapple juice, it turns green like the Incredible Hulk.
The pizza place across the street from the convention center in Columbus at Origins, I had a shop that I fell in love with. They were calling it a Buckeye, but it had some more general name that people who know what an Alabama whatever is might be aware of. But it was that peanut butter whiskey plus Bailey's and Kahlua, maybe. Yeah, I think that was it. It was basically like a White Russian with peanut butter vodka, and I love sweet and creamy.
Was it Screwball?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Peanut butter whiskey.
I mean, are there other peanut butter whiskeys?
There are. I've run across a few of those at Total Wine.
I love peanut butter, but I've never enjoyed peanut butter whiskey besides this arrangement. I think the Bailey's does a perfect job of like balancing that flavor and like giving it some like dense cream to like cut into that weird nutty bite of the peanut butter that would normally be delicious everywhere else, but with liquor it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the oatmeal cookie.
When you were describing the alcohol, you're like, it's blue. It reminded me of, I don't know if you guys watched Star Trek, but there was an episode where Captain Picard was pulling out this bottle from behind the counter, and he's like, it's blue, and just starts hammering it.
Like Curacao or something.
Because there was two episodes, one in the original series with Scotty, and then in the Next Generation it was Data serving Scotty.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it happened in the original series to Scotty. Somebody served him it's green, and then, or vice versa, Scotty served it, and then Data served it to Scotty in the Dyson Sphere episode.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. I used to be a huge Trekkie, and it's kind of fallen off over the years. But like Hallmark has a collector's ornament they put out every year of the ships, and I have every single one since 1992. I'm trying to sell them. So if anybody listening to this wants some collectible Star Trek ornaments, I have all of them since 1992.
You can throw them in alchemy and as a consignment item, and we'll see if anybody takes them. I'm serious.
Actually, that would be a great place because you guys have a giant Hallmark store there in Greenfield.
Oh, really?
It's like Sue's Hallmark. I hear advertisements on the radio.
Okay. Do you know Greenfield very well, Paul?
I used to work at the Advanced Auto Parts in Greenfield on 9.
So we're on not 9, the other main street, where there used to be a flower shop where we are now. There's like an animal rescue and an animal hospital and Chili Liquors and a Dollar General all in the same mini mall. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I want to say yes. Because
once you come visit, you'll see it and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's the one. But that's where we're at.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So we just finished the 4th of July. Let me see all your 10 fingers. I want to see 10 digits. You got them all? All right. It almost didn't happen. The rain stopped just in time for the fireworks show for us.
I'm pretty sure our local got canceled. I'm not sure, but I was grateful to go outside and finally have some rain to look at.
I'm not a huge fireworks fan for obvious reasons, but I do it for my kids because they love it. My in-laws have a house out in the middle of nowhere, and so we'll take the truck out, park alongside the road so they can see the fireworks show from a distance, and I don't have to listen to the super loud noises. And then we go back to the house and they fire off their own stuff, which they have a blast. So,
literally,
yeah. But yeah, I was worried about the rain. I was like, man, is this not going to happen? Did you guys have fun over the weekend?
I cooked out.
Yeah,
I made 4 slabs of ribs.
I didn't want to do anything. I just stayed at home and sold a bunch of hero clicks online.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing a good job at that too.
Trying. I mean, we're trying to build up hype for the store. We're gonna hopefully launch some kind of an online platform for click singles, since there's a large
Lack.
dearth of that.
Well, Paul, I won't keep you too long. I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your offering to help out Red Mountain Clicks. That's awesome. Um, I didn't realize you had been to both events so far, so that's awesome. I'm always curious to get people's feedback when they've been to both, and then they can compare them. Because I did a lot of things differently, and some of them I wasn't quite as happy with last year. So I'm going to kind of dial that back a little bit. But I got some big plans coming up for this year, so hopefully you'll be back for this year and can really.
Oh yeah, no, my group is because there was 5 of us that came from the south side, and so we'll be looking to expand hopefully to about 8 of us coming up from the south side.
Ryan, can I count on you being there?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I live in Indiana now, and I'm differently, but even more involved in Clicks events than I used to be. So yeah, of course I'll be there. Paul, can I count on you to help cross-pollinate local groups? I need to start coming out to your area, and you just once we get something regular established at Alchemy, I need you to bring your people down to up to Greenfield.
Oh yeah, I mean that's where when you said that you were going to be in Greenfield, it's like okay, that means I'll get to see Brandon and all those other guys. Because I was out there to Keith's place.
Yep. And I'm serious, Paul. If you need Gotham bricks, like let me know in the next 3 hours, or we're gonna open them all tomorrow. But we got extra.
Absolutely.
If you had the vault boosters, I'd be giving you a call. But
well, we'll have them soon. We've got 30 plus coming whenever Universal. I assume it's on Universal's end because I know WizKids has them.
I just got the OP kit from. I got it from Strange Tales and one from Avengers Forever. Yeah.
Well, the sculpts are from Avengers Forever. The kit is much more recent than that. And the Strange Tales kit is only like 4.5 weeks old.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure that street date was early June.
Okay.
And that's the one with Eye of Agamotto and the Avengers Forever's Doctor Strange sculpt. New paint job on Mindless one, and I think that Rincher guy is an all new sculpt.
Yeah, I was surprised to see those in the box. I'm like, okay, but Paul, it's been great talking to you, Paul. You're a great guy. I love what you're doing with the 3D sculpting, and I look forward to seeing what else you got coming up. Ryan, welcome to the team. Glad to have you here. You've been a friend over the last year or so, and I've gotten to know you a little bit. I'm happy to be running into the next chapter of Talking Clicks with you at the helm. So
2 years, 2 years, bud.
Yeah, that's right.
Going back before the first Red, White, and Clicks.
Yeah, that's man, time flies. I can't believe I just celebrated my 10th anniversary. And in some ways, it feels like it's been like 2 years. Like we're still learning each other sometimes. And in some ways, I can't remember time without her. So it's kind of weird. But
I know that feeling well. It's surreal.
Yeah. But guys, do you have any final thoughts for the evening?
I'm just looking forward to Red, White, and Clicks already.
Me too.
Oh yeah, especially because you're cross pollinating with a Hidden Layer, which was like my old local shop before I moved to Indiana, who's got the crazy warehouses stuff. Like, I love that. Joe Alger is the man. Shout out my boy Joe Decatur. What's up?
Well, guys, thanks for being here. I love talking to Clicks, and I love playing Clicks, and you guys are just great to talk to. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for hanging, Paul.
I don't really have
Absolutely.
I don't really have any, thoughts of wisdom other than just as always, keep on clicksing. Have a good night.
Summer rolls across another tabletop in town. dice keep turning while the sun goes down. West Fool's riding with a brand new co-pilot. Ryan's in the chair and we're ready for the mileage. There's a craftsman humming where the printers all sing, building little legends one layer at a time. 25% through the whole July run, helping Red, White, and Clicks get the mission done. Funny how a road can bend, funny how the game calls you home again. You never really walked away, the clicks kept calling, and you found your way back where the family knows your name, back where the heroes all play the game. Raise that Chicago dog up high, watch another figure come to life. One more row beneath these lights, we're all home tonight. By the daylight, counting fenders, doors, and chrome, keeping every order rolling, customers home. Then it's back to plastic dreams and printed stands, building little treasures with steady hands. Deadpool's always gonna top your list, that's one opinion nobody's gonna twist. You'll defend Eternals till the day you're through, say Guardians gets more love than it ought to. Warhammer armies line the shelf, every hobby finds a place for itself. Oh, you never really walked away, the clicks kept calling, and you found your way back where the family knows your name, back where the heroes all play the game. Raise that Chicago dog up high, watch another figure come to life. One more row beneath these lights, we're all home tonight. Paul, we need to have a little intervention. Mary F. killed Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, and Zendaya. And somehow you landed on kill Emma, marry Zendaya. Buddy, I don't know what you're smoking, but the correct answer is kill Kirsten, F Zendaya, and marry Emma. Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy was chef's kiss, and I'd like to be the chef. Sorry, Paul, your taste in women isn't as good as your taste in superheroes. But this isn't Married with Clicks, it's Talking Clicks. Let's get back to the show. You never really walked away, the clicks kept calling, and you found your way. Every printed face, every helping hand leaves another mark across this land. Here's to every second chance, every friendship, every circumstance. Talking Clicks keeps rolling on, click, click, boom, and we're never gone. Welcome aboard, Ryan, take the co-pilot seat. Another story, another friend to meet. The family keeps growing, one voice at a time. And we'll see you down the dial.